This week on the Digital Coffee, paying for Meta, paying for Twitter security, and could Messenger be a good alternative for email? All that and more after this. Good morning, and welcome to the Digital Coffee. This is your weekly dose of digital marketing and social media news for small business. My name is Amanda Webb, and I am an ROI digital marketing. I always forget that bit. I am a digital marketing ROI mentor, trainer, and consultant. That means that I help businesses just like yours get more money, more profit from the time, the energy, and the cash that you spend on your marketing. I'm looking for my QR code. Here it is. If you want to get to grips with Google Analytics, which is a big part of that, and you are a little bit in fear of moving to Google Analytics 4, or if you have already moved to Google Analytics 4 and you're going, what is going on? I've actually made a phrase book, which you can get here, which will tell you, give you the gen on all the different terminologies that you're going to find there and make it feel a little less, I'm going to put that back up, a little less than a foreign language. Okay, end of advert, Amanda. It's great to see you here. I would love to know, LinkedIn is always being a little bit fussy at the moment. I never know whether I can see comments on LinkedIn here. If I don't see your comment here, I will 100% be over to LinkedIn as soon as this finishes to say hello. But if you can see me on LinkedIn, give me a shout out. I would love to know what is in your mug. If you've watched this show before, you'll know there is definitely nothing in my mug, because I'm not allowed to have a cup of coffee before the show, because as you may have heard, I talk very fast, and if I have coffee that gets worse. But I'd love to know what you're drinking. I did have a cup of tea. I'm allowed tea. I can see that we've got Howard from Howard Howie from Life by Steels. Good morning. No glass. I'm putting them on now. They're not my round ones. They're my proper quality glasses. Warm water. Well, I suppose that's something, isn't it? You know, on a cold day, you might not want a cup of tea. It's too cold to drink water, warm water. So if you're watching, that's YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, I want you to give me a big hello, wherever you happen to be watching. And like I said, if I'm not responding to you and you're commenting away on LinkedIn, I am coming for you. I am coming to respond. But you're not here for all that. I don't know why I'm grabbing my mug again. It's empty. Making lots of banging noises with my mug. You're not here for that. You're here for the news.
This is Making Sang, first name Making, from the Firmo Creator, and you have been watching the Digital Coffee Show with Amanda Webb.
I was having a think. I was thinking, if I went and bought something from a shop and it didn't work properly, so I brought it back to the shop and they said to me, Amanda, if you want customer service on this thing that has gone wrong with the product that we've given you, sold you, you're going to have to pay. How annoyed would you be? Very, very annoyed. That would be terrible customer service. So why are we going to let Meta get away with this? Yes, it is true. I am not a fan of Meta charging a subscription fee, and that is what they are working on right now. Yes, you couldn't have missed the news. I think it was last weekend, it was announced by Zuckerberg himself that they were going to start charging for Meta verification. And this would basically be, you know where they got the idea, don't you? Thanks, Elon Musk. You've messed it up for the rest of us. So firstly, verification is something that, for a page at least, you couldn't get in Ireland. Even the little grey tick just to prove that you were who you were was something that I've not been able to access in Ireland. I'm not sure we also don't know what's going to happen to people who have been verified already. But you can also get a verified profile. And it's really profiles that they're talking about for this fee. So if you pay, you're going to get access to a few different things, which I will need my glasses for to tell you. Firstly, you'll get the verified check mark, which is what I was talking about. You will get protection from impersonation. This is what I'm talking about. Surely we shouldn't have to pay for that. Surely if somebody is impersonating us, they should be dealing with that, shouldn't they? Okay. I'm quite ranty about this. customer service, which, like I say, it's ridiculous that you'd have to pay for decent customer service. And let's just face it, there is customer service on Facebook and Instagram. For example, if something is glitchy with your account, if you're a business owner, you can go to this special business page, and if you're really lucky, you can get into chat with a Facebook employee in a chat box about the issue that you're having, which when it started, we all got very excited about, but we soon found out that those employees were only really fixing things, when people were being stupid, not when there was a glitch in the service, which, to be honest, you'd think Meta would want to know when something's not working properly. So what would usually happen is you'd spend ages on the chat, and then they'd say, I'm going to escalate this, and nothing changed. Nothing ever happened. That was the level of customer service. So if you're going to charge for it, you may talk to a real Facebook employee, but they need to be able to actually fix the problem. I'm just going to say that. So charging for customer service, I think is, that's a basic thing that we should have. You shouldn't have to pay for it. And the final thing is more visibility. So now, I always used to have I just get my hairs on the back of my neck going up when somebody would go, Facebook is pay to play now, when they were talking about ads, because I know you can still achieve quite a lot with organic content. That used to bug me. But now, honestly, it's going to be pay to play if you have to pay for verification, this Meta verification thing, in order to reach more people. Now, they do say obviously it's going to depend on the size of your account, etc., but it is going to give you a boost in the algorithm. That really is paying to play, and that's going to annoy a lot of businesses who spend a lot of money on ads, which is crazy. Have I finished ranting yet? No, I haven't, because finally, the final thing I want to say on this. Now, you might think this is a good idea and you'd be happy to pay. It's going to be $11.99 if you do it on desktop, and I think it's $13.99 on mobile, just to cover the extra costs that they would incur there. They're rolling it out in New Zealand and Australia as a test right now. But what really bugs me is we've always had social networks for free because we are the product. That's what people say. We are the product. We are giving them our data. We have helped them build these social networks by posting our content there, by engaging with people, by making connections. We have built this for them. They have taken our data and used it so that they could serve really great ads that would bring them in most of their income. So we've paid for it already, and now they're asking us to pay for it again. I am outraged, and I totally blame Elon Musk. That is all I've got to say on this. Again, if you're watching on Facebook or LinkedIn, please send me a comment here so I know you're here. And if you are commenting away and I can't see those comments, I'm so sorry.
Hi, I'm Danielle from Redbow, and you're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
Now, subscription models really are a thing, aren't they? And that could be good for our business if we can involve a subscription model in somehow to our business, because when you think about it, we subscribe to loads of things. So, there's Netflix and Amazon Prime and Apple TV Plus and Spotify, and then there's all the softwares like Photoshop or Adobe that you can subscribe to, and Canva, and the list of Microsoft. And actually, I'm quite a fan of these subscriptions because, one, if money's tight, I can cancel them. That's good, particularly if you have like all the streaming services like we do. But also for software, it means it doesn't go out of date. There's always I'm always getting the newest version, which means I don't have to wait until it's just crawling along and doesn't work with my operating system. There is always the one there that I want to use. So, and also, when you lash out for software, it used to be like hundreds and hundreds you had to pay, whereas this way you can pay it off in small amounts, which just seems doable. So I'm actually a fan of subscription services, just not paying for social networks that way. But one social network that I think has got it absolutely spot on is Snapchat. Because you remember, they were the first. They launched Snapchat Plus sometime last year, I think. And this was a subscription service, but they're not charging you for features you already get for free. In this case, they're just giving you early access to new features, and they're giving you like new stickers and new ways to engage with people. It was really kind of like a nice rewards system almost if you decided to pay you money. And this, according to Snapchat, is paying off because they launched their quarterly figures, and in that they revealed that they have 750 million monthly active users, which is the biggest they've ever been. And 2.5 million of those have subscribed to Snapchat Plus. So I worked that out. That's a 0.33% conversion rate, which, to be honest, if it was your business or mine, that probably wouldn't sound like a big conversion rate. But when you're dealing with numbers like 750,000, that's not a bad conversion rate. And if the likes of Twitter and Meta manage to achieve that 0.33% conversion rate, they are going to be raking it in. Which is obviously why they're doing it, right? So that's the thing. From that 0.33% conversion rate, or 2.5 million subscribers, they've generated 100 million in the last year. So it is very compelling. And I think from a business point of view, you really need to think about your subscription models. Is there a membership campaign? Are you getting people on a retainer? Because obviously that makes your income a lot more steady and a lot easier for you to manage your sales process. I really hope there's people seeing on LinkedIn. I'm hoping everything is working properly. And on Facebook, do give me a shout out if you're there.
I'm Ant McGinley and you're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
Two-factor authentication. It's a real pain, isn't it? But it's absolutely crucial for social media, and particularly if you're managing a business account, particularly if you're managing many businesses, because, if you're working for people, wouldn't it be awful if you got hacked and suddenly though they get their pages like completely taken over by a rogue person, a rogue actor is what I think they call them. What is two-factor authentication, in case you've missed it? It's when you get like a text message maybe sent. So you go and log into a social network and you get a verification code by text message. Sometimes some of the social networks will have a different way. I know, like, for example, Google, not a social network, but the same thing, will send like a verification to like the Google app on your phone. There are authenticator apps you can get if you don't want to get the text message, which will generate the code for you. There's also things called authenticator keys. So there's lots of different ways to verify. But honestly, most people do it by text message because it's the easiest one. You don't have to download and learn an app. So, that makes it a lot easier. So imagine my surprise when I logged into Twitter. I opened Twitter on my phone. I think it was on Saturday. And there it is, right at the top of the screen, saying, because you use two-factor authentication by text, we're going to take that away from you if you don't subscribe to Twitter Blue. Well, I was a bit ranty about Facebook wanting to charge money for getting the services we already have. And then I saw this and I was absolutely, just outraged. I was totally outraged because security shouldn't be a premium feature. Now, yes, of course, they're saying you can always get an authenticator app, and 100% I will. But how many users are actually going to do that? That is a complicated thing to do. So how many people are actually going to let their two-factor authentication slide? The answer is a lot. A lot of people are going to do that. Which, I don't know why I'm laughing. This is deadly serious because that means that a lot of accounts are going to be compromised. They're going to be hacked, and there's going to be a lot of weird content arriving on Twitter because of it. So why are Twitter doing this? Well, I believe it is because, can you imagine what their text, their SMS message bill is? It must be freaking huge with all those people authenticating their accounts all the time. That's a big money suck. And we know Twitter's in trouble. It needs to make money. It needs to be able to make enough money to service its loans from Elon Musk buying it. So not only do they need to bring more money in, they also need to cut back on the money that's going out, which is, this is my world of ROI. So they're looking at this SMS bill and going, we could get rid of that unless people pay for it. So that would be a good way for us to save money. It's a really stupid decision, but that could be it. That's not what they're saying. They're saying it's because two-factor authentication by text message is the least secure way to do two-factor authentication. But apparently if you pay, it's fine. It's secure then. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Hey, I'm Christine Gritman, and you are watching The Digital Coffee with social media superstar Amanda Webb.
What if there was something like email that you could use to reach people in your audience that don't use email? Believe it or not, there are people, I know it's weird, there are people out there that use the internet, but they don't use email. Young people in general, young people. So it's really hard to reach those people with emails. Or maybe there's people that just don't like getting their marketing messages through email. Email marketing is incredibly effective at reaching people and engaging people and selling to people, most important thing. But if people aren't using email, you're missing a big chunk of those. So what is the alternative? Well, at the moment, of course, we've got WhatsApp broadcast channels. And if you want more news like this, Matt Navarro has a broadcast channel you can subscribe to, and he sends out a lot of updates every day about what's going on in the world of digital marketing and social media. That's a really good way to communicate they're called broadcast for a reason, because you're sending out a message and people can't reply. It's just you sending out a message. So it's not as good as email because people can't engage with your content. Well, it looks like, I'm going to see if I've got a slide for this one. No, I don't. Yes, I do. It looks like Meta are rolling, or they have started testing things called broadcast channels on Messenger. Mark Zuckerberg has one. They are only released in some regions at the moment, and Ireland isn't one of those. So although I was able to get this screen grab from someone else, I'm not able to join it. But this is a really good way to communicate, I would say, not that often, not that frequently. You don't want 100 messages a day, but it's a good way for you to communicate with subscribers, a bit like email. You can send updates, you can include videos, you can include text, obviously, audio and polls. And although people can't reply, they can engage with it. So they can react to content and they can vote in polls. So it's not as strong as email because you haven't got that two-way communication. But it could be a really good way to reach those people who don't use email. I'm going to be interested to see how it works out and how businesses use it. It's also, just thought of this, it's a bit like Facebook used to be before the algorithm, when everything just went out to everyone. Now, I know you're watching on LinkedIn and Facebook. I just can't see you.
Hi, I'm Lee from Wellshot, and you're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb. Cheers.
You know what it's like? You get a message on social media and it's an important message, but you shouldn't have been on social media in the first place. You were procrastinating about doing your work. So you see the message, you open the message, you look at it and go, I can't reply to that now. So you go away and then you forget about the message. And then later on, it could be an hour later, it could be a month later, it could be a year later, you go, what about that time that person messaged me? And you go looking for that message. And of course, you've had so many messages since, or you can't remember the name of the person and it takes ages to find it. Well, LinkedIn are dealing with this. They have added starred messages. So now when you get a message and you're not ready to reply right now, you can stick a little star next to it. And that means it will get lost because you could get lots of messages coming in before you're ready to deal with it. But if you scroll through, it's going to be a very visible star next to the message. I actually tried this out. It's great. But not just that, you're able to filter your inbox by starred messages. So this isn't just for those ones that you want to remember to reply to. These could be when people are sharing really important information that you need to come back to later. I think this is just amazing. I'm really happy that LinkedIn have launched this because it means that I'm more likely to respond to messages, more likely to remember messages, and it's going to be easier for me to find those important messages that otherwise would have got lost. Oh, that was the wrong button. Here's Charlie.
Hi, I'm Charlie Lawrence and you're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
You know, quite a lot of times I become a top fan on somebody's Facebook page and I get a little notification from Facebook saying you are a top fan of so-and-so's Facebook page, which is nice. But that's all I get. Nothing else. No shout out, no reward, nothing. Just this little notification. And I think if I post a comment, I get a badge. But that could be about to change because Facebook seems to be testing a option for you to post, and this is from a creator account, but I'm hoping it's there for pages as well, that you will be able to post content that will go to your top fans first for a set period of time ahead of everyone else, which I think is great, because it will reward the people who are most engaged with your page with something that they're going to see it first. Maybe it's a flash sale, or maybe it's a product that you're launching and they get early access. Something along those lines will reward the fan. But secondly, because they're top fans, they're more likely to engage with that content. So if they're liking and commenting away, and then in 2 hours' time it gets published to the public, that means that engagement is already there, which should mean that the algorithm will show it to more people, which should mean also those people will want to engage because they'll see that everyone else has. I think this is a great idea. Can't wait to see it rolled out further. Can't wait to see how people use it. Apart from the obvious like flash sales and early release products, how else could you use that? I had to look at my buttons for a long time then because of me forgetting last time.
Hello, this is Rob Charles, the voice of Mike on Forever FM on Peter Kay's Car Share. BAFTA award winning, I've got to say, but I've not seen the BAFTA yet. Anyway, you're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb. Enjoy. I'm on tea. Shh.
It's been a long time since we've got a new Instagram sticker, but it looks like one may be coming. This was spotted by reverse engineer Alessandro Paluzzi, and he shared it on his Twitter account, and the before and after sticker could be on the way, which I think could be great fun. Not really just for before and afters. I'm not really that excited about real before and afters, but we could have so much fun with this sticker. Imagine having a before and after where both shots are exactly the same, or a before and after when the after is worse than the before. Of course, if you are like doing I'm just thinking of the wonderful people at Declutter Hub now, if you're doing a declutter, the before and halves will be serious and will actually show a big difference. But I am looking forward to seeing a new sticker on Instagram. We don't know if it's just stories or stories and reels, but I can see this going down really well. And that is it from the Digital Coffee for this week. There is no extra shot this week because Making is off being FOMO-y, being brilliant, and I have a call, so that will be back next week. But if you're not interested in the audio after show, which is basically like The Apprentice, You're Fired, or an extra slice from the Bake Off, I will still be back here, and hopefully I'll be able to see all your comments. Same bat time, same bat place. Until then, bye bye.